Hello and welcome to Box, where we unbox, review and demonstrate the latest tech. Today we have with us the Asus VivoBook K513 laptop. With a display that shines brighter than all the other laptops on the market right now, this affordable, efficient machine helps you get through your day-to-day business, while also supporting a few bonus tasks like gaming and watching movies in your downtime. Opening up the box, the laptop is revealed nestled around the accompanying accessories like the power cable and user guides. Getting set up was relatively quick and simple, with the prompt to install Windows 11 ready for me to make the switch if I wanted to get straight into the new operating system. Just taking a look at the desktop screen, I can instantly see the beautifully sharp, vivid OLED display at work. Its vibrant quality really makes any image pop right out of the screen, and with the glossy style of the screen itself, it definitely stands out against the other matte type displays that I've seen on most laptops this year. The overall design is classic with that faux metal exterior in a steely metallic grey. It does come in two other colour choices, with the classic all black or soft rose gold to better suit your personality. It has two logos on the body, with a stamped mirror finish logo offset on the back and a small one placed just below the screen. It's quite light and thin overall, weighing about 1.8 kilograms, and the dimensions coming in at around 14.3 inches wide by 9.25 inches deep. I found it wasn't too large to fit under my arm when carrying it around the office, and would fit in my backpack nicely, not weighing me down when travelling to and from work. You also find that it's beautifully slim, measuring at just 17.9mm deep. I found this was great for typing when on my lap, and let my hands sit comfortably on the keyboard with it sitting quite flat to the desk. The 85% screen-to-body ratio is adequate enough for general browsing, with the relatively thin bezel allowing plenty of room for working on multiple windows and making the most out of that 15.6-inch size. Opening and closing the lid does require holding it down, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, as the hinge is strong enough to keep the screen in place for the perfect viewing angle. Now the screen angle does open up quite wide, letting me see it clearly when looking down on my lap. With the main body being so thin, the keys are nice and shallow for a quieter typing experience. I had no trouble typing both on the desk and on my lap, with very little flex in the keyboard, and the overall weight really helped keep it steady on my lap, making remote work much more comfortable. I was surprised to see a backlight on this keyboard. The white light is bright enough to help me see the keys better during the day and even shine through the keys for easy navigation in the dark. The full-size keyboard had plenty of the usual keys I expect to see, as well as some helpful function keys like the backlight toggle switch and the screen grab shortcut. Now I was interested to see the enter key highlighted in lime green. Now I know this is a usual VivoBook design, but it does help in making the distinction between that and the shift key at a glance, and it gives it a bit more of a unique style. The touchpad is a great size, it's perfect for scrolling and clicking, and there's plenty of room for both hands at once. Though the touchpad is slightly glossy looking, it's not quite the same texture as the main body, allowing a much smoother texture for scrolling. The left and right click can be a little loud at times, but it's got a good consistent sensitivity and responsiveness throughout, which I'm pleased to see. Along the sides, there's a decent handful of inputs that will help keep your devices connected. It's a lightweight productivity laptop, so you'll find a slightly limited selection on offer, but you do have a lot of the necessities, which is great. On the left, there's two 2.0 USBs and a battery indicator light. On the right, there's a micro SD reader, a 3.5mm headphone jack, a USB-C and 3.2 USB, a full-size HDMI, and a power input. Now the display is a beautiful thing to behold. It's a 1920 by 1080 full HD resolution OLED panel with a 100 DCI-P3 colour and a stunning 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio for a truly deep, rich picture that enhances everything you watch. It does have a glossy screen type, causing it to reflect light quite easily, especially in a bright space. Though slightly frustrating, it does have a good adjustment on the hinge for angling it better for a perfect view, and the viewing angle itself is ridiculously clear, even from a sharper viewing point. Now the processing power is not designed to play games or run high-powered creative software, but interestingly, it could run a single Adobe app like Premiere Pro easily enough without any performance issues or crashes. It's good to note because it has a Pantone validated display, so you can rely on colour correction for complete accuracy when editing photos and videos. Now knowing it's an OLED display, the brightness was surprisingly good. It does have a brightness range of up to 400 nits, as you can see here, but to be honest, I didn't have any issues with visibility. I watched a few dark movie trailers as well as working on documents, and I got a bright enough picture to help me see the detail in dark scenes and avoid eye strain while working on a white image. You also don't need to worry about backlight bleed or IPS glow here, as when displaying a black image, there's no visible inconsistencies, even when looking at it from various angles. Just to make sure, I even did a few quick tests to check for dead pixels, and all was clear on this front too. Now internally you get an Intel Core i3-1115 G4 processor coupled with an integrated Intel UHD graphics, which is just perfect enough to keep you going working remotely on either office or schoolwork. It has an 8GB DDR4 RAM alongside a 256GB SSD to support everyday tasks as well as supporting your most used apps like Microsoft Office, alongside some light games as a plus. I put this laptop through its paces to see what it's really capable of, and it ran multiple browsing windows easily enough, but struggled when trying out some higher performance tasks like gaming through the Xbox app and Steam, as well as running multiple Adobe Creative apps. Of course, it is just meant for general use, but it will run a few light games like Splitgate and Minecraft when reducing the quality and refresh rate slightly for a smoother experience. Now when it comes to sound, this VivoBook has integrated stereo speakers for listening to music while you work or watching the odd movie or two. The sound quality is pretty good for such a lightweight budget laptop. I could hear music clearly across the room and even got a little bit of bass in those cinematic explosive movie scenes. Of course, it's hard to take my word for it, so here's a small sound sample to give you an idea on the quality output on offer here.
Is so much bigger than you realize.
Of all the places I could be, I just wanted to share with you.
For those working from home, having an integrated webcam and microphone can make a huge difference when staying connected with colleagues, friends and family. Along the top edge of the screen, there's an HD camera and microphone with a brilliantly wide view. The quality is good enough even in this bright room, and the audio quality is surprisingly even for picking up my voice quite clearly. It does have adaptive brightness and a few settings to help adjust the quality if needed. Now as you can see here, the video quality is pretty good. It's got an adjustable brightness so you can always see my face pretty clearly, and the audio quality is brilliant for hearing my voice in video calls. Using the laptop consistently over a good few hours, I noticed it did keep relatively cool even when working it quite hard. There's a singular fan just under the keys, keeping things cool effectively enough for me to not notice while typing. The fan sound is also quite great as it keeps quiet even when running a movie or game, and this too is pretty unnoticeable even in quiet scenes in movies. Of course, with any laptop you'll want to ensure that the battery will keep the laptop sufficiently powered out on the go. Now along with the laptop you get a small 65-watt AC power brick with a decently long cable. Its light and compact nature is brilliant for fitting inconspicuously alongside the laptop in a bag, so even keeping it on charge while in use is not an inconvenience no matter where I work. Internally there's a 3-cell lithium-ion battery with 42 watt-hours of power. As I put the laptop through its paces using some powerful apps and programs that you wouldn't ordinarily use, I did need to power the laptop pretty consistently as it was turned on for about 9 hours straight. Now the brightness will also be an important factor in maintaining the battery, as higher brightness can drain more power. But of course, for general use, you should get around 5 to 8 hours out of it just working on documents and browsing the internet. Overall, this is a surprisingly brilliant machine. Its vibrant display brings out so much colour and detail that it easily surpasses the usual quality I've seen in other displays this year. It's great for general use, utilising that lightweight design when travelling and using on the go. It's got a decent enough processing power for browsing and office work, as well as some lightweight gaming. For a low-cost machine, I got so much more than I expected, making this a brilliant choice for all of your day-to-day needs. So what are your thoughts on this Asus VivoBook? Let us know in the comments below, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to Box, where we have plenty of hands-on reviews on the latest tech. And as always, thanks for watching.